Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at Donny, who has been released as a new Ascendable character, and obviously he's a legacy character, so if you have him in your roster already and he's maxed out, you can ascend him right away. This is him as a 5-star. He has a leader skill, he has a rush, and although his rush, he's considered a damage dealing character, I would say he was more used as a support character just because his rush wasn't super fast. It did give a bit of crit, and most people would have used him as like a crit support character against walkers if they didn't have anyone who's better, even though there was 4-stars who had better crit buffs. Now in terms of his art, he has got like the leather cap on, the leather jacket, that sort of thing. As a 6-star, he has the same sort of look. It's a bit more subtle. I like the red sort of, you know, edging and stuff like that. He looks kind of cool as a character. He's still considered a damage dealer within his role, and he has huge amounts of damage. He is a Generation 2 6-star, which means all of his stats add up to around 5,300 rather than 4,800, and he has 2,275 attack. He's got one of the highest damage dealing stats in the game. Obviously as a Generation 2 that's going to be the case. 1,462 defense and 1,679 HP. Now his rush is 76 AP cost, and it's called Setting a Standard. Deal 425% damage and stun for 2 turns for up to 2 enemies. Now that's one of the first 2-turn stuns we've had within 6-stars. We have got Mirabelle, who does a 1-turn stun for 3, Ezekiel, who does a 1-turn stun for 2. So Donny is just obviously an increased version of those guys to a certain extent. It's whether you want to stun more people with Mirabelle or stun less for more time. It's hard to know, because cleanses of course can remove, it doesn't matter whether it's 1 turn or 2 turns, it removes it still, so it doesn't make too much of a difference there. The second half of his rush is a little bit of a support part of his rush, and that was basically what the 5-star was like. He had a second half with a bit more support. Up to 2 teammates regain up to 30% of their max HP, and up to 2 teammates gain 20% AP. Whether this goes to the same characters or not, maybe not, because it's split up with that period or that full stop for you guys. It could mean that the lower HP guys get healed and then the lower AP guys get the AP boost. I hope that's the case. Now this is a pretty nice little bonus. A HP heal, a bonus AP boost. That's not too bad, but it works better based on the rest of his kit. So we'll look at the rest of it as well. The active skill's okay. Bonus HP heal is okay. It's not great. It's better than a normal HP heal, because at least this is probably going to actually give them the 30% buff. Whereas if this was normal HP, you can heal someone who's got 5% missing HP and they obviously don't gain that much. Now his leader skill is where it gets interesting, especially in conjunction with that rush. All alert teammates and fast teammates get 40% HP and 40% defense. So this is the same sort of buff as Eric, who was released very recently, Carl, in terms of 40% HP, 40% defense. But this is the first character that does it to alert and fast teammates. Now this is actually a pretty good defense team lead skill, because it gives it to 2 traits that defend each other, where if you took in strong characters to destroy the fast characters, the alert characters are going to do trait damage, and the same if you took tough characters in to kill the alert characters, the fast characters are going to do trait damage. The best way to counter this leader skill is probably with alert characters, just so you've got stun on defense when you attack. You're not going to take trait damage, you're not going to do any trait damage, but you could potentially say, hey, I know I'm going to be taking this particular team only against this sort of leader, and do bonus damage against reds with this team, or bonus damage against yellows, which you could also use in an anti-melee team if you had bonus damage against fast characters on alert characters. So those characters can work on 2 different teams. Now why I like Donny with this leader skill is because there are some fast characters that have 85 AR cost, which means they only get 84 AP after 2 turns, and those are Tyrese and Lydia. There might be some other ones as well, but these are 2 of the key characters. They're very good revives, but they're very slow. And when you've got 20% bonus AP, it means that it's just going to topple them over into the 85 AP, which means they're going to get a 3rd turn rush rather than the 4th turn rush. Obviously, Donny has to rush first before they attack, but if he does, it's almost like a free command and they won't lose a turn because of it. So Donny looks pretty nice. I do like the look of him. He doesn't have an attached weapon. He is basically, like I said, an Eric, but for fast and alert characters, whereas Eric is for tough and strong. Now, it really depends on the characters if you've got. If you've got a Shield Jesus, would work really great behind Donny. Revive, active skilled Sandy would work great behind Donny. Tyrese, Lydia, those characters as well. So there are really nice defensive characters that can sit behind this character. If you don't have good fast and alert characters that can be behind this character, I don't think this character is for you. Not for now, at least. But I would keep a hold of him to ascend in the future if you potentially get the right characters. Who knows what is in next season's leagues. There could be a good fast defensive character. There could be another good alert defensive character. It's unlikely because we've had Zeke, who is, again, he'd be good behind Donny as well, but we've had Zeke and Sandy 2 seasons in a row. So we're probably not going to get a great defensive alert character next season. One of the biggest problems with Donny is you can't have a command behind him that gets the leader bonus because there are no fast commands and there are no alert commands right now. Especially the first commands are probably going to be promo within those 2 traits. So if you don't have a shield, you generally should run a command. And if you don't have a shield, and obviously you can't have a command, it's going to be quite an easy defense team to sort of counter. So you're going to have really, really good weapons. You're going to have really, really good mods on these characters to really survive. So I thought I'd just bring Donny to our attention. He did pop up during my live stream, so it was pretty funny. And we did have a nice little look at him. Do tell me what you think about him, whether you're going to ascend. I'm probably going to ascend this guy in one of my regions just because I've got Lydia, I've got Sandy, I've got options. But I'd really need a shield. But like I said, that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, guys, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.